Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! Hello and welcome, Cheap Shot Nation, to another quick shot review for Cheap Shot Entertainment. I'm your host Luke, and you are the Cheap Shot Nation. I've already said that. I've gone a different way and I've confused myself. Also very confusing is the movie Parasite. Well, it's not confusing, it's really good, and it's a social and political satire, a look at the rich-poor divide, and it's a wonderful, wonderful film. And for the first time in a long time, the Academy Awards have made sense. This film has won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Foreign Film, and Best Director. Bong Joon-ho is the director of Parasite, and it is a really good film, technically classed as comedy drama, and I was struggling to put it into a classification after I'd seen it, and yeah, it is a comedy drama. There's some really, really funny bits in here, but all the way through you feel sadness and woe for the characters. Basically a story of 2 families. One is extremely rich and is living in their bubble, which is above ground, high up, fenced in, walled, garden and all that kind of stuff. No one can get in, no one can get out unless they're buzzed in. And the other family is an extremely poor family who lives below the ground, so much so that drunk people can come and urinate on their windows. Very much a satire on modern times, a satire on the rich-poor divide, and a political satire on the way that people live, really. Yeah, it's a really good film. It is subtitles, it's Korean, it's subtitled, so if you do go and watch it, bear with it. It's really funny, and in fact a lot of the time you can get away with just watching the film without reading the subtitles. Obviously they add things to it, that's the whole point, because if you don't understand the dialogue, then you know it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it is one of those films, much like Train to Busan. You can watch the film, you could possibly watch it without even needing the subtitles, because it's done so well that the story is driven to the end point where it wants to be. And like I say, it's a story of 2 families, one extremely rich, one extremely poor, and the film is called Parasite, and the reason for that is because the poor family worms their way into working for the rich family, and you think, oh, they're horrible people. They are, but they really are quite funny, and they are poor. I mean, you know, you've got to do what you've got to do to survive and support your family and stuff. Whereas the rich people are parasitic for a different reason, because they exploit the poor for their own gain, because they can't be asked to do anything. Simple things like washing pots and things like that. And that is the crux of the story. And along the way there's twists and turns, and there's things that I'm not going to spoil for you, but I'm just going to go down the list of characters now and try and explain who they are. So Jin Won Han was the screenplay writer. Kang Ho Song played Mr. Kim, who is the main, he is the dad of the poor family. Sun Kyun Lee plays Dong Ik Park, who is the dad of the rich family. Yoo Jong Jo plays Yeon Kyo Park, who is the mum of the rich family, the daft one, the dizzy one. Basically, there's a scene at the beginning of the film where she's like passed out on a table, and the housekeeper has to come and wake her up. It does become clear later on as to why that might be, but again, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go and see this film, support this film, because it is much better than Bram's The Boy 2, which I saw last night. Woo Sik Choi plays Ki Woo Kim, who is the son of Mr. Kim. So down the park, plays Ki Jung Kim, who's the daughter of the poor family. Xiong Yum Lee plays Myung Guang, who is the original housekeeper. And things become clearer later on as they worm their way in. They fire the people that they've got working for them now, and the Kims worm their way in, so to speak. Hugh Zhang plays Chung Suk Kim, who is the mother of the poor family. Yong Hoon Park plays Gyun Si, who is the husband of Moon. Husband of Moon? Makes no sense. But all these, characters do play a massive part in the film. He is the husband of the previous housekeeper, the original housekeeper. So, the film is really good. Go and see it. There's a lot to take in here. Probably do with a second run through. And if I do have time and there's nothing on at the cinema, I probably will go and do that because it was that good. And the only film in recent memory that I've done that with is The Joker. And comparing this to The Joker, I would actually say this film is just ever so slightly better. So in my opinion, you need to go and give this film your money because the director is fantastic and the acting is brilliant. The political, social commentary on the film is fantastic. Again, I'll give you an example. Beginning of the film, they're trying to get the poor family, the Kims, trying to get a Wi-Fi signal. And the only thing they care about is Wi-Fi at the beginning. So they're trying to get, the Wi-Fi's cut off, and they're trying to get Wi-Fi signal, and it goes right through the house. Finds good Wi-Fi signal sitting on the toilet. Yay! If that's not a political and social commentary, I don't know what is. And it's just funny, and it's quite charming, really. And anything they can do to make a quick dollar, they do it, and they don't do it very well, and that's why it makes them horrible people. But you feel for the horrible people. So it's the acting that does that, it's the direction that does that, it's the way it's shot. And by the end of it, you're feeling for, you really feel sorry for who are the bad guys in this film. I don't know. If you've seen the film, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think of the film and who you think are the bad guys in this one, because they all seem pretty horrible to me. But horrible but charming, and there you go. But that's Parasite. That's my look on Parasite. Quite a long, quick shot review, this one, but I had a lot to get out in this review. So I'm going to give this film 4 clockwise nipple rubs out of 5, and that will become clear if you go and see the film as well, because it is really funny. And yeah, I would say go and see this film. It's not perfect by any means, but it is. It has a decent ending where there's a meaning that it doesn't matter how much money you have, you all end up in the same place, basically. Quite a sobering thought, but it doesn't matter how much money you got, you're always going to end up in the same place. And that's what I think the movie is going for. But if you think different, let us know in the comment section down below. Join us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and let us know on there. Click the subscribe button if you like the video, give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell, and go to the t-shirt shop. Just got a link in the description down below to get your t-shirts and show your colours and show your loyalty for Cheap Shot Entertainment, the sport channel, because that's pretty much the only way we're getting money at the moment and that is through t-shirt sales, and they're not great. So if you feel like you want to support us and wear a cool t-shirt, then do that, and we'll see you on Quick Shot Reviews next time. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I have been your host, Luke, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Hiya.